Lovely. Okay, so today, let's see what we're going to do today. I don't think there's anyone new, though I wanted to just peek through, make sure I'm not missing anyone. And I am not, so I wanted to tell you something kind of interesting. I am in Tennessee at the yoga center, Ashram Yoga Center here, tending the Devi temple for Ma, who's gone to India for 2 months. And we have our temple that's in process where it's under construction, but we have a place where we actually spend time with the Devi. It's in a shrine. It's actually in Sadhguru's shrine here right now until the construction's complete. And he had Ma start, there's always one Ma here. He had Ma start 2 years ago our Abhishekam process, which is the offerings. In India, you make offerings to the deity several times a day. And in India, we make offerings to Devi at opening 6 in the morning, at 12:30 in the afternoon, and again at closing at 7:30 at night. And the offerings are the 11 auspicious offerings for the divine feminine. And it's the same ones, and it's a ritual. And Sadhguru said not too long ago, I thought this was so interesting. So I'm here, and it's important that these happen every day. So someone has to be here with her. And at this time, I'm the only one in the US, in addition to Ma, who can do that. They can send people from India, of course, but we don't have other trained people in the country right now. And he said not long ago when he was visiting Vishwanath temple in Kashi, one of the Jyotirlinga, very important temples in India that has a long legacy and history of its importance and power. And it's one of the 12 most important temples considered in India in terms of the power that they have, the way that they were created. That's a longer story, but he said that the process that they do, their Abhishekam, that they do every day, that they've done for, I don't know how long it's been open, but for hundreds and hundreds of years, that the pujaris who do it don't even know what they're doing, that they basically have been taught and they have been indoctrinated into this process, but they do it with absolute precision and absolutely on time every day. And it's happened that way for hundreds of years. He said that they don't know even necessarily the meaning of the prayers. Some may and some may not, but he said they're not taught that. They're taught to make the offering from their heart and to have it be consistent, because the consistency of it is what keeps the power. It's like the fire underneath of her has to stay lit by this consistency, or in that case, it's a Shiva lit. And without that consistency, the power starts to diminish out of the deity. And so he said, you can say at any temple you want, the most important thing is that they're, all lovey-dovey and very, caring about it. And he said, but they don't do their things on time, or they skip a day because somebody's not there or whatever. And he said that is more of a detriment than anything else. You have to be consistent and do it. So I'm here to make sure that that happens while Ma is gone. But I started thinking about that with respect to our spiritual journey and this journey that we're on as we're trying to mature these souls of ours to a place that has whatever potential we came with, that we're honoring it. And I thought how easy it is for us to slip in and out of whatever spiritual sadhana or program you've decided is right for yourself, whether it's just meeting with us once a week, or it's chanting every day, or going to church, or whatever you've created as your time for your spirit nurturing. And hopefully that's in a daily process, some even a short. And it might be, as Sheila mentioned, your gardening, or it might be some other creative activity, but something that places you in a place inside of yourself that you are accessing something, some wisdom and some knowingness and connectedness to something outside of you, something bigger than you. And if we don't do it every day and we don't stay consistent with it, that piece diminishes. It's like training a muscle. If you don't keep doing it, you aren't going to improve it or even keep it stable. And so I implore you to have some sort of a practice, even if it's only 10 minutes, that you do every day and that you stay consistent with, because this is the way that we deepen and ground ourselves into the possibility of building on top of that. So I just wanted to share that. So I'm here to do Abhishek, and we only do it once a day here, not 3 times, but it's fabulous to be able to participate in that and to have that commitment to something that will have a legacy. This temple will be tended that way for hundreds of years. There will probably never be a time, unless this whole community dissolves, which is also possible in hundreds of years or whenever. But until that happens, this ritual will happen in this temple at this time every single day. There's something really comforting in that. Okay, so that's that. I want to return to our self-observation, which we were discussing last week, because there are many pieces to this, and this plays into the question that we had at the beginning of observing ourselves and seeing how it is that we are integrating, what's taking over in us, what's relaxing in us, what is really the state that we're in most of the time that we don't pay attention to. How do we recognize that and tweak it if we want? I just saw an Adi Shanti quote. I really like him. He's a wonderful spiritual teacher. If you don't know of him, you might want to look him up. He has some great books, Adi Shanti. I'll put his name in our chat so you can have it. He's geographically desirable to us in California. He's in Santa Cruz, I think. But he said recently, the question, what is an enlightened experience? It is the moment when existence becomes self-aware through a particular form or individual. All of the sudden, existence wakes up, like an aha. The person is not waking up. Existence is waking up. It's the Buddha nature, the Christ in everyone, the I am that. Self-awareness awakens existence. You are existence. This is what you are. So to have the enlightened experience or the aha experience of life, we have to be in a place of waking up existence in us, which means not being all over the place somewhere else, simply the aliveness, the consciousness that we are. We're not waking up. You're not walking around. I mean, they use that as a metaphor. You're not awake, but you are awake. You're walking around and doing things. You actually are awake. So to say you're not awake and all of a sudden you wake up, you don't wake up. Consciousness wakes up. Your body is already awake, but the consciousness in you, the existence that you are, the I am that is what wakes up. So self-observation is one of the steps that we take in practicing so that we have this observation not only in ourselves, but we become aware of everything that's around us. So that your ease and how you move through your day becomes heightened, because you're not struggling against the flow, because you're already aware without having to be fragmented and trying to keep track of everything that's happening. You are intuitively and energetically aware. So there's something that's really beautiful about unconditional love. I was reading about unconditional love. To be loved is not actually to receive love from someone. It is for someone to witness so much beauty in you that it ignites inside of you the vibration of love. So let's look at that again. Somebody else is witnessing you, this beauty that's in you. They're acknowledging that, and you feel that acknowledgement. And in that, it ignites the love that's inside of you. So it's not waiting for somebody else to bestow upon you their love so that you feel loved. Your love is something deeper inside of yourself. Yes, we can caretake people and we can be in relationship with them, but the actual place of unconditional love is our self-love. And that is ignited by somebody else witnessing it in us. This is something that we talk about in quantum physics. We talked about this last week. When something is observed, it changes the outcome. Observation changes. Every time an atom is seen, it reverses its spin. This is called the observation effect. Every time an atom, so somebody witnessing the beauty in you and acknowledging that even unspoken changes the spin of the atoms. Now you have a different experience of who you are. You start to recognize the truth of who you are as a response to having had that love bestowed in a space. Somebody sees that love in you and they bestow that knowingness or that witness of you. This ignites an eternal nature in us, And this then spills back into the world. So there's this interaction that happens between us. This is why when we fall in love, we have this enormous outpouring of all this generosity of heart and all of this love that comes through us, because we're being witnessed and it's igniting this inside of us, and it's just spilling out of us. It's just spilling out of us. So last week we talked about self-observation. The act of self-observation is the only change a human being needs to make in her behavior, because everything else, fundamental changes in behavior, emotion, thinking, they arise as a byproduct of this practice. So self-observation is radical, it's revolutionary, it's evolutionary, it's a fundamental change in our internal world. The practice of self-observation includes the practice of finding yourself, locating yourself in time and space in this body, but not as this body, and then managing the body, because it's from the body and the mind that we're having our experience. So that takes over everything else that's happening. So we have to know how to manage that. And this is called self-remembering. We are remembering who we are truly at the core. Self-observation and self-remembering go together like left and right. Self-observation is the practice and part of a system of practices which have been taken together and traditionally called the work. There's several teachers who teach the work, Byron Katie being one of them, and she goes at it in a certain way. But these practices are the rightful, lawful work given to the soul to develop it itself. So they're practices that help us to go towards that aim of being in our mature self. And the thing about this is that there are laws, cosmic laws that apply to this. So man's dilemma is that we think that our laws trump cosmic laws because we're in control, aren't we? But the truth is we're not in control of the cosmic flow. That's why when we get into the flow, we actually feel this release of the stress that we've been carrying to hold on to something, to move it around, because we realize we no longer actually have to be in charge. The cosmic flow is going to happen with or without us. You can go dragging down the stream, or you can go swimming down the stream, or you can do many different ways of movement, but you're going to go down that stream because that's what's happening cosmically. You can't get out of it. So bad habits keep us from embracing self-observation and observation in general. We get into the habits and we stop being able to switch it up. We start just going down the same path. So I want to talk about there are 4 different fundamental principles which are part of this cosmic flow that apply to self-observation. We're going to cover one of them today quickly. Observe without judgment. This is the most important because we judge everything that happens, and we do that because the way our minds work is that we take in incoming information and we sort it so we can get it into a place in our file cabinet in our head. And we do this in duality. We sort good, bad, happy, sad, pleasant, unpleasant. Everything is in duality. It's one or the other, when really most things have both aspects. That's the truth of the experience of it, but we sort them and then we file them away. And then we wait for the next thing to come, and we judge it against what we've already filed in these filing cabinets. So something comes in and we already know, oh, that's kind of like this drawer, so I'm going to put it in that drawer in my filing cabinet. We don't give it a chance to be something else. That's our judgment. And we are doing that because we need to be able to sort a lot of information. We've talked about that. But that judgment keeps us blind to ourselves, because when we're in that judgment, we are unable to see the truth of reality, because we've already put a cloak over it and decided what it's going to be. Judgment leads me into story. We've already been through this concept before. Judgment is the biggest thing we have to learn how to remove from our life, so that each situation that comes, we allow it to be anew, unless, of course, it's something that's survival related and danger related. But in general, we're talking about relationships and communication and experiences. And the way that we do this is that we have to be holding our body in a steady, unmoved sort of stillness, so that as things come in and out, we don't get thrown off balance. Judgments will try to box us in and will try to throw you off balance. We have to practice standing still inside and outside of our body, both. It's not just about sitting with the mudra and sitting quietly like this. It's in being still while you're moving. You need to be still while you're moving. The law of maintenance goes like this. What goes unfed weakens. What gets fed grows stronger. If we keep feeding judgment on everything that happens, we have already weakened the possibility of us being able to be on a different mindset. The aim for the mature soul is a free and stable attention. The soul is attention. We don't pay attention. It is attention. The soul is attention and consciousness. So the way we start to learn is we start paying attention, but we aren't just paying attention. We are the attention. So this week, I'd like you to use this affirmation, put it on the Post-it notes, my favorite Post-it notes. I am not judgment, I am attention. I am not judgment, I am attention. And let's see how that works this week, ladies.
Thank you, my love. Good. How do I follow that? Okay. Let's do this. And here we really have to pay attention. So we just open our hands, the fingers are separated, and we rotate them. Yeah, so the arms are relaxed, and you in and exhale through the open mouth. Well, this is called Kaki Mudra, and it helps us to balance the hemisphere of our brain. Find the pace for your breath. This is a really great pranayama and mudra to combat, depression. It's also helpful with Parkinson's, cleanses our blood. So we're increasing the oxygen flow to the brain. If you feel a little lightheaded, you just go slower, you breathe slower. Make sure your navel moves towards your spine on the exhalation. We do one more minute. Your wrist is associated with your pituitary gland, which is important for the entire glandular system. So we really are starting to secrete, helping ourselves to think more clearly so that we can let go of the past, which allows us to be more present right here. Inhale deeply, rest your hands on your thighs or your knees, stay in silence for a minute. Regulate your breath. Just be present to the experience of motions inside of you. You might feel a tingling. It might be that you don't feel anything, but your lymph was moving much more powerfully. These pauses between the asanas can be really crucial. Those are the moments of awareness. And that can be a metaphor for the rest of the day. take little pauses and just be present. Bring your arms out to the side, open your eyes. All fingers except your index fingers are bent down, thumb crosses over them, arms moving backwards. In and exhale only through your nose. 30 to 60 lymph nodes are in your armpits. They are being stimulated right now. If the lymph is not flowing freely through us, we'll get plugged up, so to speak. We create blockages. We have more lymph fluid in our body than blood. Twice the number of blood, lymph vessels than blood. And the lymph really needs that you move your arms. I know it's a bit annoying and it feels hard, but you're pumping right now your lymph through your body. And your lymph fluid is really depending on your breath and your movement. So if we want to stay healthy and increase our immunity, this is what we have to do. It's hard to be really present when we are ill, when pain takes the best of us, because then most of our attention goes there. So we want to have a long health span, not necessarily a long lifespan, but a long health span. Maybe do one more minute. Keep your head nicely up so that you're not decreasing your lung capacity. I know the shoulders feel like, oh God, those are the blockages that you already have in your body. So if this feels hard and we only do 2 minutes, then please do it every day until 3 minutes feels like an easy breezy. Then you're in good shape. For the last 15 seconds, put a smile on your face. Makes it easier. Good. Rest your hands back onto your thighs or knees. Close your eyes. Be present to the movements internally. And see how the next inhalation is, how much deeper you're inhaling than you did before the asana. When we open our eyes, we bring our arms out to the side. Fingers are spread wide. Make a fist, thumb is inside, and you hit your chest. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. All breath is through your nose. Hit your thymus gland. Do 1 more minute. Keep up a little more. 30 seconds. Make a fist. You really want to feel the fist hitting your chest. Good. And rest your hands back onto your thighs or knees. Long, deep breathing. When you are hitting hard enough, you will feel the energy right now, that's moving in your thymus gland. This gland is associated with our immune system. Now, our immune system gets attacked a lot. The pollutions in the air, the water, the earth, and our food. But also the digital pollution, how many can be in a class and not look at their phone? Yeah, so the constant distraction, that really has an impact on our nervous system. And when the nervous system gets attacked, the immune system gets attacked. Open your eyes. We bring our arms for a last movement. Palms facing up. Exhale. Bring your arms around. Inhale. Exhale. Clean your aura. Work for your heart and for your lungs right now. You can engage your spine, arching and rounding a little bit. Such a simple posture and so powerful. Last minute. Keep it up, move through your shoulders. Crucial, crucial. If any of these asanas feel challenging, do them every day until they don't feel challenging. That means you broke through some of the blockages within you. And that allows for more circulation. Good, rest your hands back onto your thighs, eyes are closed. Long, deep breath. Feel the energetic field around you for a moment. And very gently open your eyes. Make sure you sit comfortably. Maybe you have to adjust a little bit so that we can do the chanting. Rest both hands this morning onto your knees or your thighs, palms facing upward. Just be in a receptive mode. Visualize the sun in front of your heart center.
तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्सुः ॐ तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि